Let's speak to Vanessa Neumann. She's the Latin America analyst at the Foreign Policy Research Institute. She's joining us live from Washington. Thanks for being with us on Al Jazeera. So, understandably, the Palestinians are welcoming this decision. They're saying it's a new Palestinian diplomatic achievement. How significant do you think it is that Paraguay is moving its embassy back to Tel Aviv?
Well, I don't. Certainly the Paraguayans would not view it as a victory for the Palestinians, because let's be clear, Paraguay was actually the decisive vote in the establishment of the state of Israel. So they're literally the founding state. They cast the deciding vote in the UN. They've always maintained a very strong relationship with Israel, and they have said that they will continue to do so, and that Netanyahu is wrong to be quite so upset about the move of the embassy back to Tel Aviv. After all, the rest of the world, except for the Guatemala, Honduras, and the United States, have kept their embassies in Tel Aviv.
But does this signal to you at all that there's some sort of shift or a broader reset of Paraguay's Middle East policy? Because at the time of the embassy relocation to Jerusalem, some people had said, well, this only has to do with the former president's personal ties to Israel and his personal ties to Netanyahu.
Well, there are a number of things. It depends who you believe. First of all, the new incoming president, Mario Abdo, was always, even though he's from the same Colorado party as the former president, Horacio Cartés, we knew that the relationship between him and Cartés were actually strained. He was not anointed by Cartés, even though he had originally, served in his cabinet. Second of all, so he is also reversing a lot of other decisions that Cartés has said. He's putting his stake in the ground, saying that he is his own man. The other issue is also he wants to restore its institutionality. I think he wants to. They were condemned. The Paraguayan decision was condemned in the UN, and he doesn't want to run counter to the international order. Third of all, the third factor is there are some conspiracy theorists within Paraguay that think that Horacio Cartés' decision was somewhat tied to his relationship to Dario Messer, who is wanted by Interpol and wanted by the Brazilian government for his role in the Lava Jato scandal, and is a major international money launderer who has significant ties with Israel. So because the two of them, Messer and Cartés, are friends, some people in Paraguay view that decision as tied to that. We don't know. As I say, that's a dissenting view. But at any rate, it's definitely it's definitely Mario Abdo showing that he is not Cartés's man, and that there's a new sheriff in town, and he wants to keep his international options open.
What does this mean then for Paraguayan-Israeli relations? Because we know that Israel has now said it will close its embassy in Paraguay.
Israel would be foolish to do so, quite frankly. I mean, every country can, of course, decide its own diplomat. It doesn't have to ask the permission of other countries to decide its own foreign policy. Paraguay still remains a right-wing government. It's still, and we know that because we can see its vote that it's taking the Venezuelan government. It's leading the fray to the International Criminal Court in The Hague. It is doing a lot of things also in collaboration with the United States, including the Trump administration. So it remains firmly right-wing. So and it will maintain a very strong relationship with Israel. So for them to cut off their nose to spite their face because of Paraguay's remaining, where 85 other countries also have their embassy, would be, in my view, and in many Latin America analysts' view, a foolish decision.
All right.
So let's hope that the storm passes quickly.
Vanessa Neumann, we thank you for giving us your perspective from Washington.